So in this video, we are going to create a beautiful header like this one, as well as a footer like this, using the free version of Elementor. Let's get started. I assume you have already installed and activated the Elementor plugin. So how can you do this with the free version of Elementor? We need just one tool to add up to Elementor, and that tool is a plugin called ElementsKit. So let's go and install that. Plugins and add new plugin. Here search for ElementsKit. Install and activate it. And so we are going to use this plugin for our work. Having installed and activated it, we see on the menu that it is displaying here. Once you hover over it, you see all these sections. We have the header and footer builder, and that is what we are going to use for our tutorial today. So click on header footer. So let's start with the header. We are going to build a header as well as a footer. So at the template section here, click on add new and give this a title. So because we are starting with the header, we can give it a generic name like header. And then the type, we have to indicate whether it is a header or footer. So here we are choosing header. And then condition, we have the option of choosing whether this header should display on the entire site or that it should display on only specific pages. And I think we want to go with the entire site option. Now we click on activate and deactivate. We place this on to ensure that it is active. Save changes. And then now click on edit content. And this is going to open with Elementor so that we can start modifying it. At this section, we would click on the last icon here, which is the ElementsKit logo. Once you click on that, it will now display these three sections: templates, pages, and sections. So let's now go to the sections, since we don't want a whole page but just a section, footer and header. At the category section, we can browse through the various classifications here. So let's now click on header first, and this will display all the headers available. Now to see how a header looks like, you can just hover over it and place the cursor on the magnifying glass or the plus symbol here, and you can see the header displaying so beautifully. This is so beautiful. Let's get back and see other ones available. You can browse through all of these to check which one of them that you deem fit. Some of them are actually premium ones, so once we want a free one, you can choose any of these free ones available, and they are equally so appealing to use. So let's go for the first one, for instance. And with this one, having selected it, we can now click on insert. After inserting this, the next is just to modify this to suit your own needs. So you can change the color, you can change the logo, and more especially, you can select a navigation menu here. So by clicking on this icon, you can select a menu. So I've already created a menu called header, and I'm going to choose that one here, so header. And you can see that it has displayed here beautifully. We can configure the position of the menu. It is at the right location. We can change that to center or left. So this is center and this is left. Now there is an aspect here asking for responsive breakpoints. So at what point would the menu here change to a responsive one where the elements are going to be rearranged? For instance, if we select tablet, then it means that when someone views this with a tablet, they are not going to see the menu displaying this way. They have to click on an icon to get it displayed. Let's change this to mobile so that it breaks only at the mobile point. And let's go to mobile menu settings. Here we can select our logo for the mobile. Let's select a logo. So I'm going to upload a logo here for the mobile menu. And let's change the logo here too. This logo is not in alignment with the menu here. It is too big, so we can modify it. Then the link of the logo, you can ensure that this one leads to the home page when clicked on. So you can go to custom URL, enter the link of the home page here. As well as the top here too, you can just modify it one after another. This is an icon list, a contact number, this being an email address, and this being an actual address. You can modify these as well as the social media icons located on the right side. Now let's go to the responsive mode and see how it will display on mobile and tablet. So once we click on this, let's check first the tablet mode. So this is how it will display on tablet, and we can make a few modifications on how it will appear here. Edit column. Column width, let's set this to, let's say 70%, and set that of the first column where the logo is located. Let's set that to 30%. We still have some work to do. Click on the menu item here, and then click on the style section. Now at this point, you can see that the menu has a limited width. So let's expand this width so that it covers both. So let's drag this and modify it. So you can see this is way better. Let's now move to the mobile aspect of it. So once we click on the mobile, we've already selected that the mobile should be the responsive breakpoint. So once we click on this, we expect that the mobile menu should appear as we are seeing here. And we can modify all these elements here one after another. We can click also on the logo and adjust the style accordingly to make it more beautiful than it is here. You can equally modify all that are available here, as well as the alignments. If it is the color that you want to change, you can easily change the color. So I want to use any other color. Let's say this color. Once you click on this section and go to style, you'll be able to change that color. And of course, you are going to change the color depending on the brand, which is the logo and all the other branding assets that you are using. This is just for learning purposes. Now let's assume we've finished modifying our header, so let's update our header and see how we can equally work on the footer. So the approach that we used for the header is the same approach we are going to use for the footer. So once again, go to the ElementsKit section, header, footer, and we are going to build the footer. So add new. So let's name this as footer, change the type to footer. The conditions, entire site, and then let's make this active. Save changes and click on edit content. So let's go back, edit content, and this will open with Elementor once again. And let's see how the footer equally works. So click on the ElementsKit icon. Let's go to sections. And at this section, we are going to choose footer from the category. So once you click on footer, it's going to open a list of templates for us to choose from. As usual, if you click on it, you can have a preview of how the footer actually looks like. So I'm going to choose this one, insert it, and then the next step is that we are ready to modify it according to how we want it to be. And I can say this one looks so appealing. It is so professional, even though it is a free tool that we are using, and a free version of it is still fine. Let's throw in some information here. And you can modify the social media links here too by just changing them one after another. Here you have the option of showing both the icon and the text, or only icon or text. So if you click on both, for instance, you see that it displays both the text as well as the icon. So whichever way you want this, you can choose that. And of course, this is where we can modify the logo too. So you can either upload your logo or choose an already existing logo. This is yet another section where you could modify it as well. So you can create another menu here, just useful links section, a list of items here that you can change per your requirements. You can also add more here. So let's say this one could be about us, and you can select a page here. And one beautiful thing about this feature here is that you can show a label. For example, if there is something new that you want to draw people's attention to, you can indicate that here. You want to show that there is a new pricing or there is a new feature. So let's say pricing, and then select the page, show label, and then at this show label side, you could bring something like new. And this looks so professional. And you could continue this way and finish. This aspect is about newsletter integration. So you could connect this one to your MailChimp list. And once you do that, then you'll be able to collect leads or email addresses of your prospects. And of course, you can modify everything here, including the color. So let's say you want to change this color to something else. And we are not limited to only these items available here. You can add a column or remove a column and add whatever it is that you feel appropriate. So for instance, if you want to remove this section, you can modify the size as you deem appropriate. Let's duplicate this and then delete one of the content here. Then at this section, you can select anything that you want to place inside this area. So let's collapse this and see the ones that come with ElementsKit. And there are so many beautiful ones that are available. So from buttons to headings to blog posts. In fact, the opportunities are limitless. Frequently asked questions, image comparison, testimonials, pricing tables, a whole lot, theme section, and all of that. So you can just drag that item, drop it inside here or wherever you want, and then you can just modify it just as you want. There's also a copyright test area where you can modify this. So let's say this is the company name comes here. And you can choose to place other menu items here, or you can choose to delete it. This is just how you can create headers and footers for free. After updating it, let's take a look at what we have done so far by opening just a page or a blog post and seeing both the header and the footer. So that's how it looks like. This is the header with our logo here and our menu items here. And of course, you can modify it to make it better by adjusting the size of the logo as well as the padding and the margins. You can modify that beautifully here. And you can also finish this one and make it more beautiful according to the project that you are working on. If you enjoyed this video, do well to like it so that others get to discover it and also learn from it. See you in the next video.